We got another one.
Recording. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Frank.
This is revised.
No, this time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, we're good.
City of New Haven, Community Development Committee, Wednesday, April 17th, 2024, 6 p.m., Board of Alders Chambers. Meeting can be viewed on Board of Alders YouTube. Board of Alders New Haven notice the Community Development Committee will meet in person at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, April 17th, 2024 in the Board of Alders Chambers located at 165 Church Street, New Haven, second floor, to hear and act upon the following. LM-2024-0210. Resolution of the New Haven Board of Alders authorizing the City of New Haven to apply for and accept a grant from the Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development in the amount of $975,700 and partner with Penrose LLC to support the partial demolition and abatement of the former Strong School for an affordable housing development. This item is on file and available for public inspection in the Office of Legislative Services, 165 Church Street, New Haven. Per order, Honorable Carmen Rodriguez, Chair, attest, Honorable Michael Smart, City Town Clerk. If you need an accessibility related accommodation, please contact 203-946-97, 203-946-7651 voice or 203-946-8582 TTY. In accordance with the City of New Haven COVID-19 guidelines, masks are now optional. Public may send comments to public testimony at newhavenct.gov. And at this time, I will introduce the alders in attendance.
Frank Redemption, Ward 15.
Salvi Cola, Ward 18.
Brittany Mabry, Black, Ward 20.
As I am sitting in for the Vice Chair, and Frank Douglas, Alder, Ward 2. Thank you. So we will call the petitioners of this. What do we need for quorum? Four.
4, 5, right.
Name and address for the record, please. Is the recorder on?
Yeah, it's on.
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Helen Rosenberg, 212 West Elm Street.
Let's please use the microphone. Just, yeah,
Okay, how's that?
thank you.
Helen Rosenberg, 212 West Elm Street, New Haven, Connecticut, Office of Economic Development.
Carmen Chung with Penrose, 50 Milk Street, Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm the project manager for Strong School.
Good evening, Mr. Chair. My name is Michael Piscatelli. I'm the Economic Development Administrator for the city, and I reside at 353 Summit Street, New Haven, Massachusetts.
Thank you. So at this time, I will let the chair, Alder Carmen Rodriguez, take her seat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A few minutes. My apologies for being late this evening. If you can continue.
So you can begin.
Just wanted to thank you for your time today. I'll just give you a couple of quick opening remarks, and then Helen Rosenberg, our Brown Feely, Carmen, Alder Miller will tell you a little bit more about the project. But a lot of gratitude to this board for your support of the affordable housing initiatives led through your priorities, and a lot of great technical work on the part of the team and our development partners. It's a whole range of initiatives to create the well-being that we aspire to here in the city. So in this particular case, we have sort of three big parts of the stool: a vacant school, which has been a blight in the neighborhood, a real opportunity through a community-driven process to put that school back into productive use for our community, and to do it in a manner that supports our goals around affordable housing. Alder Miller and the community in Fairhaven led that process with a lot of great technical assistance from our staff. And we're really proud and inspired by the work of Penrose, who've done this work all over the country and have really chosen to tackle a really difficult project here in Fairhaven. And I would also add the work that we've been doing on finding the different funding sources that would make a project hit go, given the pressures we see from inflation, supply chain, all of the different impediments to building a project with a significant number of affordable units. The Brownfield program, which Helen Rosenberg has capably run for the city for so many years, feels like a jobs program and only a jobs program, right? Taking these old industrial sites, putting a warehouse up, manufacturing building. The most recent set of programs, the $12 million that this board has supported in recent years, 3 in every 4 of those dollars has moved towards affordable housing or supported an affordable housing project. And but I just want to acknowledge the work of our partners up at the Department of Economic and Community Development to recognize that in order for us to maintain a strong jobs program, we need great housing and housing close to work. And this is another great example of that. So Helen's going to walk you through the technical, and Carmen's going to walk you through the project, and Walter Miller, all of the reasons of the why, and we'll answer any questions.
Okay, so we're here today regarding acceptance of the application, and if the application is approved, is this okay?
Yes.
Okay, if the application is approved, then acceptance of the award from DECD of $975,700, which can be used for environmental cleanup, demolition, and hazardous building materials abatement for projects that the state would like to see come to fruition, including affordable housing, which this is. Most of the money that is being applied for will go to abatement of asbestos and lead and a small amount of PCBs in some floor mastic and some other miscellaneous materials that need to be removed from the building. There's going to be one part, the 1996 addition to the school, that will be demolished. It has no architectural significance. The 45,000 square foot building will be abated and renovated, and then there'll be an addition, which you can tell me how big the addition will be. So most of the money will go to abatement. About 100,000 is budgeted for demolition, and then there could be a little bit of subsurface cleanup that's required if there is some oil contaminated soil that's left over from the removal of some underground storage tanks from a while back. But there's going to be a little testing for that. But most of it is related to the building. And that summarizes what this grant is for.
Great, thanks, Helen. I also want to echo a lot of what Mike just shared. It's been a really great journey over the last almost a year, I guess over a year, in working with the community and working with the city and the support of the Board of Alders also to get through all the processes, through the RFP, through the site control, through zoning, and I think at every step of the way we've seen how much support this project has had, which I personally am really thankful for. I've also brought kind of just some handouts to remind everyone some of the key facts of the project and some of the work we've done.
Wait.
The key goals of this project is to redevelop the school into 100% affordable, income-restricted housing that's LGBTQ affirming. It's going to be attractive live-work space for artists also, and to preserve the former auditorium to space that can be utilized for arts and culture, for community events. And we're very excited to embark on this. Just a reminder as to the unit mix, it's 58 units, a mix of studios, 1 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. And it's all of it will be income restricted from between for 30% of 80% AMI, and the 30% AMI units, where our goal is to get rental subsidies for those. And since the beginning, we've had bi-weekly meetings with both LCI, Economic Development. We've gotten the City Plan Commission full approvals. We've done a number of due diligence to get this to move forward as quickly as we can. And the current schedule is targeting towards early 2025 closing, but my goal is to get this done earlier than that and hopefully have a shovel in the ground by the end of the year. So that is my goal. And a lot of the steps between now and the end of the year is really getting all the financing pieces together so that we have all the funding sources to make this happen. So one of which is the brownfield funding that we're talking about today. And the next 2 pages are just renderings that we showed during the zoning approval process, of which the original historic schoolhouse will be preserved in its entirety, and then we're adding a new construction addition, which is where the new entrance will be. And then the last page is just a quick breakdown of what the $975,700 will go towards. As Helen described, it's lead paint abatement, it's removal of PCB containing mastic, asbestos, and demolition of the 1996 addition. So that is just a quick reminder and overview of the project.
I don't have a lot to add. I will just say that for those who've been around a long time, following the endeavor of trying to get this building back into service for the community, I've had many fits and starts. And I think as this chapter has progressed, we've just been increasingly confident that this is the right path, that we have the right partners, that we're going to get over the finish line. Things have gone very smoothly. We've had just great partnership all the way around. The community is very enthusiastic. They had geotech happening last week, and I let people know that it was like the happiest banging I've ever heard. I was like interrupting my meetings. I'm like, here they go again. I mean, it's really, so we're beginning to feel like it's really happening, and there's the progress just keeps continuing. This is part of that. So hope you'll support this tonight so we can keep moving it forward.
At this time, any questions from the committee?
Yeah. Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for all the work that you've done on this project. Long time coming. Thank you all. So this is going to be 100% affordable. And the AMI again is 30. What is it?
The chart on the third page, it's going to be 30% AMI, 50%, 60% AMI, and 80. And you'll see the number of units on the last row in the second chart.
And just one, so inside the old school building, these are very large units. We can't make any changes to the interior because it's historic. So there'll actually be artist-led work spaces in the school building, and that will be combined with the performance space that will be available to the community. And then the new building will be more traditionally sized apartments.
And you're preserving the auditorium.
Yes.
That's good. That's all I have.
Any other questions? Alderman Nyland?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, it's kind of a question and a comment. I want to thank you all for this project, and affordable housing is a major issue that we're facing in New Haven. So as I'm looking at the number of units, studio, 1 bed, 2 bed, my question is, what demographic are you guys targeting with the affordable housing? Because if you go to like other committee meetings or speak to other people, it's like most people that are struggling and need housing are families. You know, children are being displaced because they don't have nowhere to go. There's a lot of DCF cases regarding, you know, affordable housing, you know, youth living out of their cars with their families. So what, I know this is a small a small solution to a bigger problem on a larger scale. So when we're talking about developing affordable housing, how come there's not more 3 and 4 bedroom units to house families to make them affordable for families to actually be able to afford to live? Because a single mom that has 5 children that goes to our New Haven public schools wouldn't be able to qualify for these type of units because they're a large family. So if we look at studio 1 bed and 2 bed, that's the demographic of single people that can actually afford to pay $1,500 for a 1 bedroom because they don't have children. So that's my question. Like, how are we, gonna make affordable housing affordable for families, not just targeting what looks like a 2 bedroom could be a mom with a kid or, a family of 3 in a 2 bedroom.
So at this time, if I can,
yeah.
So at this time, what we're doing, what we're discussing here today is the process of being able to move this forward so they can get the funding for the abatement.
Okay.
So I'm quite sure there's going to be a lot of other conversations, and you can connect with our colleague who's done a lot of work on this. So tonight, we are tasked with approving this so that we can get shovels in the ground by 2024, and we can have a building built that we can celebrate with the Fairhaven community. It's long overdue, and so that's why we're here today. If you can, and not, I didn't want to cut you short.
No,
I just
that's
wanted, but we're definitely going to meet with our colleague. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Okay.
So I'd like to thank everyone here, all the
Microphone.
I need a microphone?
Yeah.
That's the first time anybody ever told me that.
Yes, thank you.
I'd like to thank you all for being here. Alder Miller, thank you for all your hard work. I just want to say that as a Fairhavener, it's really important to me to see this historic site that's so vital to our community, that has suffered through homeless activity and drug activity and blight, and has just been a drag on that area for so many years. To see something productive happen there, for it to be mainly housing, but also to have a community hub there as well, to be LGBTQ friendly, and to finally bring life back to that end of Grand Avenue, I think is exceptional. So thank you for all your hard work.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Mr. Vice Chair?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the abatement, you're going after this $975,700 to partner with Pembroke. What kind of issues are you having, or are you having any issues with getting this?
Many issues, right?
So what can we do?
So we're each doing our part, right? So the brownfields piece is actually a fairly small part of what they might call the capital stack. And Carmen can explain it in a little bit more detail, but it's building a matrix, like what funding sources are out there on the private market and public, and then what could it be used for? So what Helen helps do is figure out what eligible things need to be done, like getting rid of the old tiles or something like that, or some contaminated dirt. And then Penrose will build this matrix out until we can hit go. And to the point made earlier, like the bedroom mix, the family, and that, so some funding sources, will push, a little bit more on the family side. Others, push to make sure that we're maximizing the design ability of the building, if you will. And we're watching this play out with Beacon, for example, at 300 State Street, and then all the funding sources align, and then we can move to the next step. So it's a puzzle piece. I think it's probably the best way to say it, is a puzzle piece.
So what are the next steps for economic development in Penrose?
Yeah, so one of the issues that we're tackling right now is getting SHPO, the State Historic Preservation Office approval, because this is a historic asset. They have historic tax credits that they can award to projects like this, but they dig into things like how are your windows, what's the details for that, how much are you insulating the walls, what are you using for your flooring. So we're working with SHPO closely on providing a plan to them that they will approve. They're going to dictate things like what we use for our ceilings, all the way to that level of detail. And that probably represents 40% of the funding sources. The second piece, after we get the historic approvals, will be going to the state housing finance agency, CHAFA, and Department of Housing for the typical low-income housing tax credits and DOH funding sources for projects like this. So those are the two big pieces that will probably make up about 70–80% of the capital stack. In the interim, we've also worked with economic development and LCI on things like applying for home funding. So it's continuing to piece together all these items that will make sure that we have the total cost for the project is probably around $25 million. So it's nibbling at it in these small ways as well as these larger chunks.
So the $975,700, is that enough to start this? Or
It's not enough, but it's a piece that will fill the cup, slowly add a little bit to the cup until we get to a full cup.
Should be enough to do the job that it's
Meant to do, which is the abatement of the interior and exterior.
Any other questions from committee? Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion?
any other comments from you all?
Thank you for your time, and really, will be many other steps on this journey as mentioned, so we'll be back before you. We appreciate your ongoing support.
Thank you. We will make our decision, we'll deliberate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Would anybody from the public like to testify on this item? For a second time, will anyone from the public like to testify on this item? For a third time, will anyone like to testify on this item? Alderman DeCola.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that we close the public portion.
Second.
The item has been moved in second. Discussion.
Right, we're just closing the public.
Just closing it.
Yeah, there's no other comment or videos here.
I want to acknowledge Alder Wingate for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Chair,
Alder DeCola.
I'd like to move favorably that we accept this grant, moving it forward. Second.
The item has been moved in second. Any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Alder DeCola.
thank you. I think this is a great project. I grew up in Fairhaven. My parents went to Fairhaven, Armstrong School. It's a key point to that part of the Fairhaven. It used to be so much in that neighborhood when Firestones was there and the Fairhaven Camera Shop, all along that. And just so you know, this is the second strong school. The first one burnt down. But I am in favor of this wholeheartedly. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder DeCola. Anyone else? Vice Chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I conclude, I also agree with passing this. It's much needed. We all know affordable housing is at the top of our list. Affordable housing is at the top of our list, and this is just another piece to the puzzle that we're trying to put together in the city. So I'd like to thank all the folks involved in getting this done, especially all of the area. Thank you.
Anyone else? Alder Wingate.
My apologies for being late, but I have to trust my colleagues in moving this forward. So if they're in agreement with this process, I'm going to support it as well.
Are you making a motion? No, I'm sorry.
Disagree.
You're just, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the ayes have it, so.
No, we don't know that yet. Any opposed?
Any opposed? Anyone abstaining?
Okay.
Motion carries. Excellent.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I move that we close this meeting.
Second.
the item has been moved in second. Is there anyone in agreement?
So moved.
Okay. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Meeting has been adjourned. Thank you.
You love to be dying. That's what.
You know,
Wrap it right up.
You know what I'm saying?
You giving all this to everybody but me. This is my gift.
You are the gift.
I am.
You don't give presents
I had to jump.
to presents.
I'm glad I'm not on
Saying?
it.
Your presence is a gift.
So